All right, I just attended Apple's Let Loose event here in New York, where they announced the brand new iPad Pro, iPad Air, and a bunch more. I went hands-on with everything, and I'm here to give you the recap. So let's jump in, starting with the iPad Pro. When you see the iPad Pro in person, you immediately understand that this is a very unique device. At the heart of its appeal is the new OLED display, which comes in both 11 and 13-inch sizes. It supports full screen brightness up to 1000 nits and peak HDR brightness of 1600 nits, which is obviously just insane. The way Apple is hitting those brightness levels is by using a Tandem OLED setup, which is literally two stacked OLED displays, allowing the brightness of both to be combined. The color accuracy and vibrancy of these displays just looks unreal when you're using them, and it's a substantial upgrade to the iPad lineup. Oh, and by the way, if you want it, you can get the iPad Pro with a matte nano texture finish for the first time ever if you work in conditions where you want to reduce glare. These new iPads are also the thinnest devices Apple has ever made, even thinner than the iPod Nano, with the 11-inch model coming in at 5.4 millimeters and the 13-inch 5.1 millimeters. Also in a legitimate finally, the front camera is now located on the landscape edge of the display. So when you're using it with a Magic Keyboard, you aren't awkwardly looking off to the side anymore. Around back, you now have an improved 12 megapixel camera, but the ultra wide is now gone. Powering the iPad Pro is the new M4 chip, which was designed specifically to leverage the ultra thin enclosure and high performance needs of that OLED display. Again, remember, it's pushing two full resolution OLED displays at once. So this chip not only enhances graphical performance thanks to a new display driver that was required to drive that Tandem OLED, but it also ensures that energy consumption is kept to a minimum, balancing power and efficiency. And when it comes to power, it's 50% faster than the outgoing M2 iPad Pro, and it can also deliver the same performance using half the power. The base storage for both models is now 256 gigabytes, with prices starting at $999 for 11 inches and $1299 for 13 inches, and they come in silver and space black. Then there's the new Apple Pencil Pro. This iteration of the Apple Pencil introduces a new squeeze gesture. This allows for quick switching between tools and actions, streamlining your workflow and enabling artists to stay in their creative zone without distraction. There's also a new barrel roll gyroscope feature, which allows users to manipulate the tool orientation for fine control, meaning you no longer have to physically move the iPad around when you want to change the orientation of the marks you're making. When hovering, not only can you see where your mark is going to be, but the iPad display will also show a digital shadow of the tool you selected. So in other words, if you select a highlighter, the shadow will look like the highlighter tool. If you switch it to an eraser or the ink pen, that shadow will change shape to one of those tools, which is really cool and trippy to see. The Apple Pencil Pro retains that sleek design from the second gen, but now also includes Find My capabilities, making it easy to find it if you've misplaced it. You can pick up the Apple Pencil Pro for $129. And by the way, it is only compatible with the new iPad Pro and new iPad Air, which we'll talk about in a minute. The other new accessory is the Magic Keyboard for iPad Pro. The new Magic Keyboard now features an aluminum palm rest and a larger trackpad, offering more comfort and more control. The tactile response and smooth glide of that trackpad make it feel similar to using something like a MacBook Air. Seriously, it really feels more like you're using an Apple laptop than that cheap plasticky feeling of the previous Magic Keyboard. It's a nice upgrade. Additionally, one of the most requested features has been added, a dedicated function row. The new row of keys brings all those shortcuts right underneath your fingertips. So now things like adjusting volume, brightness, or switching between apps is much more accessible without having to use function keys. It's a small change, but one that significantly enhances productivity. The Magic Keyboard is available in black and silver, designed to match the new iPad Pro, and is priced at $299 for the 11-inch and $349 for the 13-inch model. And importantly, this keyboard is specifically compatible with the new iPad Pro models only. Apple also gave us a look at updates to the iPad versions of Final Cut and Logic. Starting with Final Cut Pro 2, this version introduces a truly impressive feature called Live Multicam. This allows filmmakers to use their iPad as a control center to manage live multi-camera shoots, where you can wirelessly use iPhones for different camera angles. Everything is controlled right from the iPad, so you can do things like change focus and zoom on all the different iPhones, all from one place. You hit record and the files appear on the iPad for editing when you're done, full resolution footage coming in wirelessly as well. It's super cool to see and witness this in person, and I cannot wait to try it myself. Logic Pro 2 brings substantial enhancements that cater to musicians and audio producers. The updates include a revamped drummer feature, providing more dynamic and realistic drum tracks. And there's also this introduction of new AI-based players and plugins that really make this feel like a professional tool, which is really what it is. It's just a professional tool for the iPad. Both apps leverage the enhanced performance of the M4 chip, with Final Cut Pro 2 offering up to 4 times more streams of ProRes RAW, enabling more complex and graphically intensive timelines. But this event wasn't just about the new iPad Pro. There's an all-new iPad Air as well. Apple's made some key changes here that makes this a worthy upgrade. The first of which is that there's now a new 13-inch size in addition to the 11-inch version. This means that if you want a bigger iPad, you no longer need to spend $1,300 on an iPad Pro. Next, these models are powered by the M2 chip, giving the Air the same power that we saw on the previous iPad Pro. Another user-friendly update is that repositioning of the front camera, similar to the iPad Pro. The iPad Air sees that front camera moved to the horizontal edge. You get 4 color options here, which include blue, purple, starlight, and space gray. The 11-inch model is priced at $599, and the 13-inch version comes in at $799. Again, you can now get a 13-inch iPad without having to pay over $1,000 for the Pro model. Oh, and another nice upgrade, starting storage has been bumped up from 64 gigs to 128 gigabytes. You can pre-order everything I talked about now, and they will ship next week. Stay tuned for my full reviews of everything I talked about here, as those will be coming soon as well. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Edwards, and I will catch you in the next video.